With Valentine's Day around the corner, thought I would make a little Valentine's slow stitch. I have this material. It's actually upholstery webbing. I've just got a scrap, but I kind of love the pattern on it, and it's very tough, very durable, sealed at the edges, so I thought it would make a good brooch material. Got these large safety pins, which I have used before to make brooches, so it's a very similar technique. We're going to sew over. All our stitches will be hidden inside, sealed up like that. So the image for Valentine's Day is going to be a heart out of felt, and then the slow stitch element is going to be gold thread. So the heart unfortunately is going to have been broken, but we're putting it back together with beautiful gold stitching. I think it's a Japanese tradition to mend their china and porcelain with gold to sort of tell the story of the item, sort of celebrate the fact that it's still here, it's still good, you don't throw it away. So that's the idea behind my little slow stitch today. It's not going to be very big, so it probably won't take too long to do, I don't think. We're going to need a small heart, so let's just cut out some felt. We want this to act as a nice border. Could fray the bottom actually to make it a little bit more interesting, so I won't put the heart right at the bottom. And I'm not going to fold it over to make it the same on both sides. I want it a little bit irregular. This is kind of going to be a bit of a quirky brooch. It is actually almost the same there. Let's just trim this down a bit. There we go. So let's decide how long we want it. We want it on the bottom bit. Shorter than that, I think. There we go. I'm going to take it off there just so we've got a bit to play with. A bit tough. Right, I guess we will start with just a good width. Heart could even be a little bit smaller, but we are going to cut it in half, so we might overlap it a little bit, putting it back together. You could do some other cuts in it, but I think one cut down the middle is probably okay, and then the other stitching we will just do with the gold. So it's going to look a little bit like that. I'm going to trim the edge just very little bit. So I've got some gold thread here. It's notoriously difficult to work with. I'm using a sewing machine thread rather than an embroidery thread. This is Gutterman, which I do use quite a bit actually if I want to use a sewing machine thread. It's very fine and it does immediately sort of start to split, which is a bit of a pain. So what I tend to do is double it up, tie a knot in both the ends. You can see it's sort of fraying there. But if we tie them together, it does sort of stop the fraying a little bit. I've heard also if you mix it with a piece of normal embroidery thread, that can help. So you could try that if you're having difficulty. This is quite fine, so doubling it up is going to make it look a little bit chunkier. Leave the pin out for now, and we're just going to make some stitches on the heart. Stitch it almost back together down the middle, and then just do some other gold little patches and see what that looks like. So I think I'm just going to do some straight stitches. Okay, I'm going to try and leave a little gap, and I'm going to make them sort of higgledy-piggledy as well, so not super straight or the same size or anything. You could sort of leave it just sewn down the middle and you have like a 3D effect on your brooch. But because I want some more gold on it, I'm going to fill in some more places. But you could do that without attaching it to the backing. Okay, let's do the other side now. Wondering if we want little stitches all the way around. Maybe. It doesn't need it to attach it. But I just would like to see a little bit more of the gold, I think. Let's see when we've done this side. Just going to see if we can take out a little bit of the bottom. So we've got a bit of a frayed bottom. It's just this white thread that goes horizontal. That looks quite cool. Take a little bit more. I'm just going to use black, but you could use red, nice matching red across the top, or down the sides as well, or gold, whatever you think sort of brings out the needlework. I'm going to do back stitch, but you could also do blanket stitch. That is a great one to do down the sides, maybe if you've got enough space. I think I'm going to do the securing stitch in black, and then I think I might do a bit of detail in the red. I'm going to put it on this side, so when you open it up it doesn't sort of slide off very easily. I'm not going to glue it, we're just going to use stitches. I'm going to pull through the knot to the inside, but you don't have to start with a knot, you could just do some over sewing. I'm going to over sew a couple of stitches just for added security at the top. We're going to do some over stitches at this side as well. Gets a little bit tangled. There we go, it is pretty secure now. I'm going to come in to the inside. Now down the edges I am also going to just do black, but just before we finish off I think I will just do, can't decide, a bit more gold or a bit more red. I might do a bit more red. You could write a slogan if you can come up with a good one, perhaps love yourself or something, perhaps. So we're just going to do a little bit of red for detail, following the weave. Not sure I want to do back stitch or just running stitch. Just running stitch, I think. And I'm going to do a matching one at the bottom. Now, just using a couple of black strands, I'm going to finish off sewing around the edge and securing the bottom to make sure no more fraying after this point occurs. I'm also going to just fray the back so it's nice and matching, and then we'll take a look. Here we have a mended heart instead of a broken heart. A mended heart. DIY brooch, really easy. It's going to be really durable as well with felt and this fabric here.